of your government will accuse Prime Minister Narendra Modi of having a very rose-tinted view of India's relationship with China and his personal ability to get China to change its policy or attitude towards India based on his supposed equation with President Xi Jinping. Do you think, like some prime ministers in the past, he got swayed with the optics at Xi'an or at Sabarmati, where he thought that because he and she had a personal equation, or at least it seemed. Now I don't know, A, what's the equation currently? Obviously terribly frayed. How do you see it? And did Xi Jinping take our Prime Minister for a ride?
Look, I ask you a counter question. Does Narendra Modi look like a person wearing rose-tinted glasses? Ever? In any situation? I mean, come on. I mean, you may have had some other Prime Minister 50 years ago. So let's not, sort of make those untenable sort of comparisons. Okay? Look, I wasn't there at Wuhan when they had the first informal summit. I was there at the second one. These were, practical, pragmatic, tough conversations between leaders. And please understand, Rahul, today's diplomacy requires leaders to be engaged. The idea that somehow diplomacy is run by faceless bureaucrats, of which I was one till fairly recently, that somehow we do things on autopilots, on files, and these people wearing nice suits will work out everything and leaders will come there to bless a good outcome. That's not the way it works. This is not a peculiarity of Prime Minister Modi or President Xi. Look at the world. You have today Germany, people say, yes, we have Chancellor Merkel. She's a strong chancellor. Japan says, yes, I had Prime Minister Abe. He was a strong Prime Minister. A lot of the debate in an American presidential election is what? Is the president strong enough to lead? So today leadership is very important. The person at the top has to take responsibility. The person at the top has to know what they are talking about, has to be tough and engaged. You can't leave it to the system saying, okay guys, you go figure out this problem and I'll come when something needs to be signed. That's not how diplomacy is done today. That's not how our interests are best advanced, and that's not the way this Prime Minister is. This Prime Minister is willing to lead from the front. If he wants us to pursue a policy, he will advocate it himself. If there's tough talking to do, he's prepared to do it himself. You've covered many of the earlier meetings. When we had a problem, under this Prime Minister, we've been very open about it. You remember, for example, this whole UN sanctioning of Pakistani terrorists. Now, in the old days, you would have brushed it under the carpet. Now, under this Prime Minister, we said, okay, listen, if you're not going to do it, we're going to vocally express our unhappiness. If somebody is sort of delaying, objective we are interested in, it could be nuclear supplies group, we will speak our mind. This idea that I must keep quiet when my interests are impacted, and that every meeting is somehow some kind of a bonhomie exercise. That's the record doesn't bear it out. Meetings are tough. You have no idea of the kind of preparation that goes into these summits. The sort of the issues which the Prime Minister has to kind of get into in detail.
Now there was